Thanks for joining us. I'm Randall Bennett. It's the National Association of Broadcasters Expo in Las Vegas, and that means lots of announcements relating to broadcasting and video content. First out of the gate, Adobe announced that it's trying to partner with some TV manufacturers and set-top box makers to create flash widgets on a television. Now, of course, to do this, they are trying to me at least, it seems like this is a first step in delivering internet content to TVs. But let's ask what our experts think. To talk about this, we have Brad Linder from Liliputing. Brad, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Also, we have Brian Heater from PC Mag. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you.
So with Adobe and trying to get into the TV set game, it looks to me like they're trying to kind of use this as a Trojan horse, as the first step to maybe delivering full-length video content to TVs. I don't know, Brad, what are you thinking? Are you thinking they're just going to stick to widgets, or do you think that this TV thing might actually work with streaming video?
Well, I think there's already plenty of ways to get video on your television set. I think what's really exciting about this is the way that it'll bring more internet content onto the TV. And there's a lot of things that Flash is good for on the web. We see it powering user-generated sites like YouTube. We see it powering a lot of advertising. There's probably going to be some Flash advertising on your TV now, which everybody's excited about.
Woohoo!
And we're going to have weather widgets and local sports and news and things like that. So I think the widget aspect is really going to be interesting. You'll be able to watch TV, hopefully, and use this Flash technology to get other information while you're watching. I think that a lot of the TV studios and movie studios are going to be less excited about using this as a new way to deliver full-length video of TV shows and movies, because there's already plenty of ways to do that. And I think we're sort of moving in the other direction now, trying to figure out how to get that content away from the TV and onto the computer. Well, not away from the TV, but onto the computer as well as a new revenue stream.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. I don't know, Brian, what are you thinking? I still think that, given the right avenue and the right partnerships, people would actually try and, make this partnership happen and turn it into sort of a better version of web TV. I don't know, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think that widgets are really sort of the foot in the door here. Yahoo really laid the groundwork with partnerships with Sony and Samsung, and they've been delivering content like news and stocks and weather and things like that. But if you look at the list of partnerships, they're also partnering with Netflix, and they're partnering with Disney, which Disney for a while has been trying to find ways to get their content onto your TV screen through streaming.
It's an interesting step for sure. I mean, I'm hoping that we'll see some reality out of this. And like you say, those older Sony boxes, that at least they have the Ethernet jack built in, so hopefully there's a future in this internet streaming TV regardless. Let's switch gears for a second and talk the mobile space. So also, because of the National Association of Broadcasters, a new partnership, well, a new broadcasting standard rather, has been unveiled in Washington, D.C. This is called the Mobile DTV Standard. And instead of previous technologies which required subscriptions through cell phone carriers, this one's actually an open standard where anyone who has a capable receiver can receive the content. Now, of course, the natural evolution of this is into mobile devices like cell phones, maybe MP3 players, but eventually we could see standalone devices or a bunch of different standards. I don't know, Brian, do you think that this is something that people will catch on to, or do you think that, who needs some mobile TV on their phone?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to catch on if the mobile carriers have anything to do with it, because it's free and they've got all these paid standards. Free is a big thing for people, but I think initially, if the technology is going to catch on, it's going to catch on through things like PC dongles and other devices that aren't phones, because the carriers aren't necessarily going to allow them to be built into handset if they can find ways for you to pay for that content. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see regardless. Brad, what are you thinking? Are you thinking that this will, the free aspect, there's no subscription price, do you think that'll be a big draw?
Well, that's definitely, again, it's a draw for the consumers, not necessarily for the carriers. But you know what I like to do on phones? I like to make phone calls.
Oh, man, imagine that.
I think what's really, interesting here is there is sort of a push towards being able to do mobile video on phones and do all these other things. But, mobile television has sort of existed for a long time. If you go back 10, 15 years, you could pick up a little Sony Walkman TV portable, pull up a big antenna, the reception was horrible, but you could watch TV. You know what? Those didn't sell real well. Yeah. That wasn't something that we really saw evolve into a market niche. I'm not sure that this is something that people really need unless they're commuting, taking the train or something, and unless the signal works well in subways in cities like Washington, D.C. and New York, people aren't going to sit in their car and do this, I hope. So, I'm really not sure that there's going to be a huge demand for this feature unless it is a feature that we see on mobile entertainment devices, sort of the equivalent of portable DVD players, or maybe computer dongles where you could plug it into your laptop or something, as opposed to watching it on the 2-inch screen on your cell phone.
I mean, I get the whole idea behind this standard is that it's a lot less, these digital TV receptions right now is a little bit more intensive, to shrink the equipment down. It's a lot more difficult than, one of these smaller devices. But I still think, why not just have regular DTV reception like you would with your regular TV? I don't know. I think that's kind of when it'll start catching on. Guys, we're about out of time. Brad Linder from Liliputing, liliputing.com. Thanks for joining us, Brad. Also, Brian Heater from PC Mag. I'm sure you write for every PC Mag brand, right, Brian? You're kind of
I'm pretty much all over the place, yeah.
Let's keep it real. So that is it for today's show. I'm Randall Bennett. We're on iTunes, YouTube, anywhere else we need to be, let us know. You can email me too, randall@techv.com. We'll see you later.